welcome to this Bioprocess International Ask the Expert webcast. Before we get started, we have a couple of questions from our speaker for our audience. This will help our speaker understand who you are and what you're looking to get from this presentation. So if you could kindly help us out by answering the questions on your screen, you can just select the answer that best works for you. So the first question is, which devices do you currently use for TFF? And select all that apply. The options are Repligen Pro, I did a typo, Repligen SI-US, other reusable, or other single use. So which option best fits for you? And again, that's Repligen Pro, Repligen SI-US, other reusable, or other single use. Looks like we have a couple more people joining, just giving everyone a chance to answer that question on the screen. Okay, the next question from our speaker is, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being low and 5 being high, how important is a closed device to your TFF process? So again, 1 is low and 5 is high. If you could just help our speaker out by answering the question on your screen, that will help. Okay, great. And the last question before we get started is, which therapeutic type are you working on? Select all that apply. And with that, I will go and get our speaker, and we will begin shortly. Thank you for your standing by. Hello and welcome to this Bioprocess International Ask the Expert webcast. I'm your host, Leah Rosen, the online editor for Bioprocess International. Before we get started, just a couple of notes. This webcast is being recorded and will be made available for replay in the multimedia section of our website. We've muted the audio lines, but we welcome you to type in your questions for our speaker in the chat window on your screen. After the presentation, we will begin the question and answer portion, and I will ask our speaker your questions from the chat window. Your questions in the chat window will only be visible to myself and our speaker. So thank you for joining us today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Michael Lebrecht from Repligen Corporation.
Hello, my name is Michael Lebrecht, and I'm the Bioprocess Sales Specialist supporting our Tangentics Tangential Flow Filtration product line. Tangentics has been an innovator in TFF technology for almost 15 years. I'm happy to introduce the next step forward in our line of CS single-use TFF cassettes, the CS Gamma. The CS Gamma TFF products are a gamma irradiated and delivered as a closed system, particularly useful for bioburden sensitive applications and hazardous processes requiring containment. CS Gamma is available in a range of membrane surface areas from 0.1 meters squared to 2.5 meters squared, and pore sizes from 10 kilodaltons through 100 kilodalton. Also available with multiple screens and membrane chemistries, all of which provide tools needed for a wide range of applications. Inside the Gamma CS device, we'll take a look at innovations on both the membrane and cassette level that generate its high flux and high product recovery performance in TFF applications. Lastly, CS Gamma is a connection-friendly device and gives you choice, either with a complete flow path as a complete solution or using the genderless aseptic connectors to integrate with the existing TFF flow path. CS Gamma is actually an extension of our existing Tangentics TFF product line. Our innovation in TFF began in 2007, and at the very heart of the device is the development of a highly selective ultrafiltration membrane with a well-controlled, narrow pore size distribution. We describe this structure of a membrane as anisotropic. The top of the membrane is tighter, with the support being more open. Separation happens at the surface of the membrane, where the narrow pores are evenly distributed. The open pore structure below provides a low resistance of flow, which translates to a high permeate flux. Together, this provides a high selectivity and high flux within a single membrane. These membranes were initially introduced in our TFF Pro reusable format for both PD and manufacturing scales. We then transitioned to single use with an innovation around cassette construction, giving us the industry's first purpose-built single-use TFF cassette, the CS. It's a combination of the improved membrane and advanced cassette construction that enabled a single-use design by cassette. Now we continue to push forward with a fully closed gamma-radiated TFF assembly, the CS Gamma, featuring aseptic connections and a fully disposable flow path. So a little more about our innovation in membrane technology. The TangenX developed a single cast method for membrane production. Historically, UF membranes have been manufactured in a multi-step composite layer format. The TangenX single cast method allows for more precise control, providing a better selectivity and higher permeate flux on the UF process. So let's take a look at membrane technology on an application level. Selectivity is basically the measure of what's retained by the membrane and what's allowed to pass through the membrane. It's the single cast method that we touched on in the previous slide that generates the narrow pore size distribution around the target molecular weight cutoff and creates the steep slope of the selectivity curve represented in orange. One way that this better selectivity can improve the TFF process is in product retention and yield. Many MAB processes have historically used 30 kilodalton molecular weight cutoff pore size to retain 150 kilodalton MAB. That would be a 5 times larger pore size than the 5 times larger than the pore size. The selectivity benefit of the TangenX membrane has enabled many end users to successfully use a 50 kilodalton molecular weight cutoff to retain a MAB, this being only a 3 times larger pore size than the molecule. The benefit of the higher molecular weight membrane is higher flux, which can either decrease the process time or reduce the amount of membrane surface area required. Yet another data set comes from an independent study that was performed at Pfizer, comparing membranes from several major suppliers, sort of a membrane bake-off, if you will. All the membranes in the study were 50 kilodalton PES membranes. And in the flux versus TMP experiment shown, the TangenX membrane showed the highest permeate flux rate compared to other membranes in the study. So as we've all seen in many analyses over the years recently, we've seen benefits shown of single-use technologies and time reduction. With single-use TFF, many of the non-value-added steps of flushing and cleaning are eliminated, giving back precious time to your program. By removing the need for pre- and post-CIP, process time can be reduced by as much as 50%. So it's up to you to decide how to use that time increase, whether it's increased throughput or increased productivity to your facility. Now we can take a closer look at the CS Gamma device, where the membrane and cassette technologies are combined into one unit. The membrane is housed here in multiple layers and connected to a manifold that directs the feed, retentate, and permeate flows. The device is fully assembled and is compatible with TFF holders from Repligen and with holders available from most major suppliers as well. As shown in the top right corner, you can see stainless steel end plates are still required to provide compression and torque. However, there's no fluid contact to the stainless steel, and then thus there's no cleaning required. And of course, as the name would imply, the device is gamma irradiated to support bioburden sensitive applications. You have 3 genderless Colder aseptic quick connectors that can be built out into a fully customizable ProConnex flow path, or simply integrate into your existing TFF flow path. Lastly, CS Gamma is manufactured to support your process requirements. Our manufacturing facility is ISO 9000 certified. The materials of construction are USP Class 6 and BSE free. Every unit is individually integrity tested, and the extractables testing was done in compliance with the latest BPOG requirements. A regulatory support file is also available. As part of Repligen's offering, you can also order CS Gamma as part of our ProConnex flow path. These flow paths are fully customizable from a library of over 400 components, such as reservoirs, pressure transducers, and magnetic pump heads. All components are bioprocess grade, and each unit is irradiated and individually tested for quality prior to release. CS Gamma is offered in 64 different configurations. Membrane surface areas include 0.1 meter squared, 0.5 meter squared, 1.5 meter squared, and 2.5 meter squared. Larger membrane surface areas can be reached by putting multiple units into parallel. The options for molecular weight cutoff include 10 kilodalton, 30 kilodalton, 50 kilodalton, and 100 kilodalton to cover applications over a wide range of molecules from recombinant proteins, mAbs, and gene therapy. Two types of membrane chemistry are available, both based on modified polyethylsulfone. Our ProStream membrane has been modified to be neutral charge, and our HighStream membrane has been modified to be highly hydrophilic. Additionally, we offer two different channel configurations for both low and high viscosity applications. With our high viscosity screen, we can address applications such as high concentration of mAbs up over 200 mg per mil. As part of our product validation for CS Gamma, we have demonstrated that the TangenX UF membrane performance is unchanged by the exposure to gamma radiation. In this plot, we have flux as a function of transmembrane pressure. The permeate flux is shown in blue, where the TMP ranges from 0 to 35 psi. As expected, the traces for both the CS non-irradiated and the CS Gamma irradiated version are highly comparable. For rejection, we look at the second y-axis and the plot in orange. The percent rejection at three different transmembrane pressures show less than 1% difference. Overall, this example shows that the flux and retention of BSA on both the irradiated and non-irradiated 10K membrane is highly equivalent. So anyone presently using the TangenX CS membranes will have an easy time to transition to the CS Gamma. This next slide is courtesy of our friends at Homology Medicine in Bedford, Massachusetts in the US, who directly compared CS and CS Gamma in a gene therapy process. This process is a 50x concentration of the homology AAV HSC molecule, and the plot shown here is flux as a function of time. The process ran just over 2.5 hours, and similar to the previous slide, we see that both flux and process time are comparable in the irradiated and non-irradiated formats. Additionally, both yield and product recovery were comparable as well. Once again, if you're a CS user currently, making the transition will be very straightforward. So in summary, the CS Gamma is the latest step forward for the TangenX TFF product family. A wide selection of 64 configurations across multiple surface areas, multiple membrane pore sizes, membrane chemistries, and screen channels provide you with the options you need to address diverse processes. And of course, at the heart of the product, we have the ProStream and HighStream membranes created by using our single cast technology for a unique combination of both selectivity and flux. For connectivity, we know that managing connections from multiple single-use devices from multiple suppliers is hard. We're trying to make that easier. If you need a complete flow path, we can make that. If you're just looking to bring our cassette technology into your existing flow path from any vendor, we've made that easy too. So with that, I'd like to make a few acknowledgments, courtesy of some of the pilot work that we did at Homology Medicines. I'd like to thank Michael, Thomas, and Alex for their contributions, as well as the team at Repligen, Dave, Mark, and Mary Jo, to help put this all together. So I hope from listening to this webinar, you've heard that we really are trying to listen to our customers, especially the request for end-to-end single-use solutions for TFF. time is often your most valuable asset. The technology advancement of CS enables you to focus on high-value production steps and avoid cleaning membranes, because really, who really wants to do that? CS Gamma offers the opportunity to make your work even easier. There's even more information about CS and CS Gamma that we'd like to share with you. If you'd like to learn more about the product and to schedule a demo, please go to repligen.com/CSG and submit a request. We have a great global team, both sales and support, ready to work with you. Thanks for attending, and we'll have time to take some questions.
Okay, great. Thanks, Michael. And as a reminder, you can submit your questions down in the bottom of the screen. So are the SIUS Gamma units available immediately? And if not, when will they be available?
Yeah. So we are in the pre-launch stage, and we will have the availability in January of 2020. We do have now we can get a head start on that. We do have inventory of units available. They are representative production units that can be used for some demonstrations that we could do from now to the end of the year and into January. But the first commercial deliveries will begin in January 2020. Yep.
Can two SIUS Gamma units be connected to reach 5 meters squared? And can a pre-connect flow path be built to support this?
That's right. So at the present time, the maximum surface area on a single unit is 2.5 meters squared. And to reach 5 meters squared, we can run 2 in parallel. And there is a ProConnect flow path design that will enable that parallel flow path.
Is there any membrane improvement from the SIUS to SIUS Gamma?
So it's exactly the same membrane. They're made in the same manufacturing process, off the same manufacturing line, and the only difference is that after the assembly of the device of the CS Gamma device, it goes on to the gamma radiation facility for exposure to the gamma radiation. So it's the exact same membrane that's used in the standard CS, and so you can actually use the non-irradiated CS for process development work and to evaluate retention and flux, and then at scale up into GMP, you could switch to the Gamma CS and have the same performance. Both the high stream and pro stream membrane chemistry is available in the non-gamma rated and gamma rated format. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And is the CS Gamma cassette delivered dry, or is there solution in it?
Yep. So the CS Gamma is stored in, delivered in a 0.2 molar sodium hydroxide. There is some lead time between when we manufacture the assembly and when it goes to the irradiation facility. Could be as much as 2 weeks, and we wanted to minimize any risk of bioburden that would be generated during that time period. So the caustic will keep the bioburden low until the irradiation process is complete. And so it's just a simple flush to equilibrate the membrane with your equilibration buffer to get the process started. Yeah.
Okay. And how is the screen and membrane chemistry selected for a process?
Sure. So again, with over 64 different configurations, you do have a wide range of combinations of membrane, cutoff, and screen. And so our applications team is really well suited to help with those evaluations to pick what the right combination is for the right molecule, MABs versus gene therapy. But we'll help pick whether the hydrophilic membrane or the neutral charge membrane, whether the low viscosity screen or high viscosity screen. We can help provide the guidance with our technical staff to choose the right product.
Okay. Well, I think that's all the time we have for questions. If we didn't get to your question, we'll be passing those on to Michael, and he can follow up with you directly. So go ahead and continue to enter them into the chat window if you'd like. So thank you, Michael.
Great. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who dialed into the webinar. Thank you very much.
The recorded version of this webcast will be available for on-demand viewing on our website. As a registered attendee, you'll receive a follow-up email providing you with a direct link. We look forward to having you join us at future Bioprocess International Ask the Expert webcasts. Look for those announcements in your inbox. Goodbye.
Thank you.